Hey guys, it's Rizzle, and today I want to dive into a hot topic that I know everyone's kind of had on the tip of their tongues lately, and that's around the Once Human server reset. I know that there is a lot of confusion about how these resets are actually going to work, what you can bring, what you can lose, and how Eternaland kind of fits into the picture as well. But trust me, in my opinion, I believe these resets are actually going to be super beneficial for the community. So guys, today I want to dive into a hot topic, and that is around the Once Human server resets. I have had a lot of people reach out to me and ask for a little bit more insight into what I know about it, and I kind of want to clear up some confusion about how these resets are going to work and what you can bring over to the new seasons and how Eternaland kind of fits into the picture as well. And trust me, I really do think these server resets are going to actually be quite beneficial for the community as well. In today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know, clear up any confusion, and hopefully help you get the most out of these resets. Alrighty guys, so the very first thing that I want to touch on is how I view seasons, okay? So the devs have already stated this in their blog post. The reason why they're doing these massive resets is, number one, the game's obviously going to be out for that first few weeks. Everyone's going to want to try it, right? After a little while, you're going to slowly filter out, and you want to filter out all those people that no longer play it for the hype of being a brand new game, and you want to kind of continue within that community. And that's why I kind of look at seasons being really good for that, because when we're having these resets on our servers, what it's doing is removing all the inactive players and then giving us the ability when we go to Eternaland to basically regroup with our friends, whether they're a couple of phases behind, phases above. We can either wait there for them, or we can just go there and then move into a server that's going to be so much more active with players, because you're not going to have all these people from the beginning of a brand new launch game that aren't joining you there as well. So obviously right now there is a cap on servers and how many people are allowed in, and I don't know what the direction is going to be. We're going to leave that to the devs and wait for them to come up with some more detailing on how that's going to look in the future. We want to try and stick with our friends as much as possible, and I guess we want to stay on a server that's active, because there's no point being on a server when there's no players, because doing that group content isn't going to be as fun. So that's why I look at it as a positive. But now we're going to go through the season inheritance, which you can find within the game. So into the new season, you have your Starcrom, Chrysogen, Misuko's Mark, Celaplania, and Sproutlet. So it's basically like all your main currency. The only one that's not coming over is your energy link. So what I would be doing is using your energy link on the things that you can bring once you've got all the things that you need to complete your season that you're currently in. And use them on things towards the end of, I guess, materials and direct inheritance things that you can bring over into the new season. We're also being able to bring our gear blueprints, so that's tiers included, blueprint fragments, weapon accessories, and mods. We're going to go spend some time farming all of the above and trying to carry that over into your next season. The other thing that we're going to bring is furniture formulas, except those are unlocked in your memetics. So memetics I don't believe are going to follow us over. I feel like they might be resetting. Judging from what I've read, I'm like 100% certain that memetics will basically restart, and we'll kind of re-adapt to that as we go into a new season 2. Cosmetics, expressions, actions, and name card titles are also coming with us. Obviously, you're going to keep your character creation, your building blueprints. Make sure you guys are saving those blueprints from now until later. The more that we save those blueprints, it's going to be better and give you kind of like a safety net too. I think you can also use them in Eternaland as well as in your new season. We also have the main story, side story progress that you're going to keep. And what I believe, I'm not 100% sure as always, but I believe the whole purpose of when we're going into a new season 2 is they're going to unlock new maps, new quests, perhaps. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure on this, but I'm assuming that's why we would keep the progress that we already had, because are we going to be given new content? Like, that's what that tells me. These things, this is the big thing then, the big question around, I guess, like, what weapons and armors and, like, how materials and things like that are going to come with you. So I'm going to touch on that next. So you obviously have your weapons, your armors, your ordinary resources such as materials, medicine, and ammunition. So if we go into our little Jimmy Bobby up here, so if we go to Eternaland here, guys, and go to shop order, here we have a tab called Export Resources. Now, we all know that Astral Sand, which is the one that you see here, is used to build and craft in Eternaland, obtained by selling resources or by completing orders in Eternaland. You can also sell your items that you currently have in your current season as well. Like, for example, I want to sell some orange soda. One orange soda is 450 of my Astral Sand, so that goes to Eternaland for me. So that's the one currency that we all know about. The second currency, guys, and I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of confusion. A lot of people have said that it is Astral Sand, but here it states, at the start of a new season, you will receive a certain amount of material points that can be used to transfer your supplies to Eternaland to the new season. Direct supplies require various amounts of material points for the transfer. Please note that any unused material points will not be carried over to your next season, so it is important to make your choices carefully. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to give us that cap, because if that's going to refresh every time, maybe they'll cap that, maybe they won't, but that's going to be more so for those quick materials that we just chatted about, and armor and weapons. I'm going to keep all your blueprints, but I think that's going to be for anything that you directly have on you that you want to transfer over. Alrighty, now the fun stuff. So I know Eternaland and how everything works, like that's the main couple of things that is easily, I guess, easy information. But it's really important to think of Eternaland like basically a place that you can just go to. It's a creative place where you can build. But here it says, we're hoping to offer all sorts of seasonal content and mechanics, as well as close the gap between players so more can team up and play together. So that's touching on what I said earlier about trying to close or make the community stronger by having those seasons, because we can all go here, you can invite your friends here, and you can all join a season from Eternaland together. Apparently, people felt disappointed about going from one season to the next, so that's why they've created Eternaland. So it'll basically function as a transition between seasons and a unique world for each meta-human. So let's have a look through cross-season item transfer. I'm just going to bring this up. So with Eternaland as a fixed anchor point, we'll also be adjusting item transfer rules based on pre-existing seasonal item inheritance. You can save items and souvenirs collected through the season in Eternaland in the following way. So we have two different things here. So we have our special backpack items. So items and data that could previously carry over to the new season could also be used in Eternaland, including Starcrom, equipment blueprints, mods, furniture formulas, memetic obviously excluded, cosmetic items, and more. So regular backpack items include weapons, armor, materials, medicine, ammo, like all the things that you want to collect. They'll be transferred to Eternaland between seasons and sold in the depot. So this is where it's important to know that we're obviously going to have two different things that we're kind of focusing on here. This is the one that we're going to need to be using for our material points, whereas this will always stay with us. So it also says here, there is no limit to the amount of items you can transfer to Eternaland, but transferring the items will cost a certain amount of material points. See here, they were using the word material points again. So I do believe it might be different to Astral Sand. Material points will refresh each season, and you can transfer items to the new season as long as you have those material points. You can also sell regular backpack items in Eternaland for Astral Sand, the currency that is used for construction. So they are very much specifically saying that they are two different types of currency. So I think there is a lot of confusion around that, but judging by the devs blog post and the complete information that they have here, it is saying that material points is one thing and Astral Sand is another. Players currently in a season cannot transfer items to Eternaland. Eternaland items are not connected with seasonal servers and will have separate depots. So what we would have saw there in that export screen would have been like our end of season stuff. That's why we didn't see anything in there. The only thing right now that you can do is start to harvest, or start to collect your item or your Astral Sand by selling items from your current season for that Astral Sand. And then you can gather materials within Eternaland as well. But I feel like everything that you want to collect and take over, you really need to be doing in this current season and not in Eternaland. Eternaland, basically, just think of it like limitless construction. Nothing escapes the laws of cosmos, and everything disintegrates into a fine sand once it passes through the Silver Gate. However, in Eternaland, anything built with sand is eternal, and that's why we have Astral Sand. In Eternaland, the universe is the limit, with construction possible anywhere on the island. No areas are off limits. You can build as much as you like. Think of it like a giant Sims, you know what I mean? Cross-server meetups. This is what I also want to touch on. You can also invite friends from different seasonal servers to visit Eternaland. They're basically hoping Eternaland will give a chance to regroup before the next season and let your creativity run wild as you build at will or even throw parties. So pretty much the rest of this here, guys, just touches on like how Eternaland works. Alrighty, so let's talk about how seasons and seasonal content works. So in Once Human, every season introduces a fresh journey where you start a new and experience exclusive seasonal content within a fixed time time frame. So we're not going to be seeing the same content over and over again. So that just confirms what I said earlier. The content will vary from season to season, presenting new stories, events, and mechanics. Each season brings forth a new set of objectives, whether it involves resisting the invasion of otherworldly entities or seizing control of the core again. In the pursuit of these goals, we will explore different maps, experiment with various gear and character builds, and encounter new enemies. I don't know if you guys have had a look at your maps, but currently all maps are unlocked in Phase 4, and we currently have a whole lot of empty map space. So my thought process is maybe they're going to change us from map to map, and the reason why they close is because they're working on how that is going behind the scenes until that season is ready. The best part is you have the freedom to pick a variety of season scenarios and decide how you want to progress through them. So by offering an array of seasons and adding changes to the same season, once you can make sure that your every seasonal journey is one of a kind. They're absolutely, I think they're brilliant. I think they're actually brilliant. Why the seasons? Once Human strives to bring you a fair, balanced, and stress-free gaming experience, and that's why seasons are introduced. With seasons, you have the freedom to enjoy the content of your choice and dive into the game at your own pace. Seasons are not just about new journeys, but about savoring the fruits of your hard work. So rest assured your seasonal possessions and achievements will carry over. From weapon blueprints procured during the treacherous encounters to house constructed brick by brick, from friends formed during challenging times to materials painstakingly gathered into the wilderness. Everything you have worked so hard for will be retained, and at the end of each season, your character and their progress will be transferred to Eternaland. From there, you will have the freedom to choose what you want to bring with you and begin the next season with. So here we go. In every season, everyone starts on an equal footing, which gives new players a chance to catch up while offering veterans a fresh challenge. This means the game will be more inclusive, enabling friends to play together even if they join the game at different times. So I really think it's important as well, on that note, guys, make sure that you are friending your cross-server friends, because you want to make sure that when you're ready to group up, that you guys can all go together. And then even just going through a lot of this is pretty much just touching on Eternal Depot and how everything through Eternaland works, which we already know a lot of. But yeah, guys, that's it. I don't know. I honestly don't believe that these server resets are going to be bad. I think they're honestly brilliant because it's a way to keep a game like this, especially like a MMO, like open world kind of survival game, on its toes, but also keep it so that we have things to do and that we can group with an active community within our servers. But yeah, guys, like it's pretty black and white. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it was informative. I've consistently had so many people messaging me, like when I'm streaming live, or, you know, just even behind the scenes saying like, oh, what's with the seasons and how do they work? And oh, we're losing everything. We're not losing everything. But hopefully that provides a little bit of clarity. If you guys have any more questions, I'm so happy to answer them to the best that I can. Just drop a comment below and I'll try to get to it. But guys, hopefully that was informative, and it's the first time I've ever done one of these videos. All right, guys, thank you. Bye.